Radar indicated rotation. So we're going to get right to tracking this cell and to show you exactly where we're looking here. Again, near Orwell into Ashtabula County, you're under a tornado warning. That's southern Ashtabula County until 4:45. So at this point, you want to make sure you get into a basement. You know the whole drill, away from windows. If you don't have a basement or a lower level, you certainly want to be in an interior location like a bathroom, away from any window. So we're looking here near Orwell right now, and this again moving northeast at 25, 15 miles east of Chardon. And I want to go in and show you one thing that we look at is the relative velocity. So it's a spin going on within this storm and the radar indication, which the National Weather Service has just recognized here in that specific location. So here we go. We're going to zoom in right into the specific nodule that they're looking at. You can see it right there near Windsor Mills right now along 322. And this again is moving northeast at 25. So we're looking right now near Orwell. If you're near New Lyme, Hartsgrove, Windsor Mills, you should currently be heading into the basement if not already there. Of course, keep your phone nearby and also keep that TV nice and loud so at least you can hear any updates that we are being given. Let me see what's going on here. Severe thunderstorm warning, of course, still in effect for Ashtabula and Trumbull County until 4:45. So this tornado warning for Ashtabula County near Orwell until 4:45. Movement right now northeast at about 25 miles an hour. We're going to track this storm for you. Zoom in first and foremost to the specific location near Windsor Mills outside of Hartsgrove and Orwell. At this point, you should be taking cover near Lenox. And even at this point, anywhere really in Ashtabula County, Andover, Pierpont, it's on the way in that direction here. It's moving 25 miles an hour northeast. So we're going to track it from Trumbull through Hartsgrove and Orwell. Moving northeast at 25 puts it in these spots here. It includes Rock Creek around 4:26, so in the next 5 minutes. Roaming Shores closer to 4:30. Lenox around 4:35. Denmark around 4:41. Kingsville and Kellogg'sville between 4:45 and 4:50. All of these areas are areas of concern from the specific cell showing rotation radar indicated with a northeast orientation at 25 miles an hour. This again is Ashtabula County under this tornado warning until 4:45. Radar indicated rotation. At this point, all of these areas, again, you should be under cover and in your basement if you can. Definitely away from windows, not in the cars, nowhere outside. I know you want to take pictures, you want to look. It's not safe at this point, any of these locations at the moment. Heading back towards tracking this cell in general and looking at some of the storm's movement. We're going to head back and show you these storms that have been really developing, especially east. The fronts come through all the areas except like Ashtabula, Trumbull County, just moving outside of Lake Geauga and Portage counties and Stark County. You still have those really heavy downpours, but the specific concern right now is just in southwestern Ashtabula County. Again, this cell near Orwell moving northeast at 25 miles an hour, heading toward a Hartsgrove area, Orwell, New Lyme, Lenox, Pierpont at this point. Even near Geneva, Ashtabula, Kingsville, all those areas, because a cell is heading in that direction, go ahead and prepare yourself to get downstairs and just stay aware. This is all radar indicated. No one has actually spotted a tornado at this moment, but this is enough where we are still highly concerned of the specific cell itself. Going back to storm relative velocity, which is what the Weather Service has noticed. This nodule, if you notice here, this appendage looks like a little peninsula extending out from Huntsburg all the way through Hartsgrove into Orwell, heading toward Roaming Shores, Lenox, just outside of the Trumbull area, heading toward Pierpont and Andover. So as we do go ahead and track this specific area of concern, movement again northeast at about 25. It's already going through Orwell right now, heading toward New Lyme and Lenox. You're the next up to bat. Hartsgrove right now, you're in the midst of it too. So I'm going to zoom out first and foremost here and kind of show you as we move northeast at 25 where that takes it here. So we do have Roaming Shores here at 4:27 in the next 5 minutes. We have it in Lenox around 4:34. These are all approximate time frames, but these are still areas. At this point, just go ahead and get in the basement. Just be prepared. Sheffield Center around 4:45, Kellogg'sville around 4:48. And again, we're going to continue to watch this specific area of concern showing rotation. So noticing a wall cloud looking feature in Ashtabula, also being reported here as we're chatting live with the National Weather Service and other people in town that are storm spotters. So again, it's heading toward areas like Lenox and Denmark and Sheffield Center here within the next 20 minutes. Northeast movement currently at about 25. So just to reiterate, tornado warning in effect for southern Ashtabula County, moving northeast at 25. First indicated around 4:17, so about 6 minutes ago, near the Orwell area. It is currently moving toward Lenox. You're basically the next up. Ray's Corner, Roaming Shores, Denmark, all these areas here the next 20 minutes. All those areas, you should be in the basement, if preferably, definitely away from windows. Interior locations include maybe a bathroom in the center or a closet in a bedroom. Things of that sort if you don't have a lower level to go to for safety measures. Back to zooming out, we're just going to keep going over and over some of the same drills and showing you radar because of this imminent threat of Ashtabula County. This tornado warning specifically in effect again until 4:45. So what happened? Radar indication around 4:17 near Orwell spawned this tornado warning with the movement of northeast at about 25 miles an hour. So as we take a look here, also some very, very heavy downpours, flash flooding going to be a major concern. A lot of lightning going on with this. Obviously thunder to go with it. And as we go ahead and track this, let's see how the movement is going and see where it's located currently with this specific cell that we're continuing to watch very, very closely. Still near the, heading right into Roaming Shores and Lenox as we speak along 6 and 322. Orwell, although it's moving north of you now, still stay put at this point until we know for sure you're in the clear, just because the proximity is just still so close to your hometown. As we do track this, northeast, here we go, let's track this currently northeast at about 25. It puts it into Lenox here at the next 6 to 7 minutes. Roaming Shores is basically upon you right now. Dorset, Sheffield Center between 4:35 and 4:42. Pierpont closer to the 4:50 time frame. At that point, it'll be getting very, very close to Kelloggsville. Once it gets through Kelloggsville, it moves very close, obviously, toward the Erie County area into Erie, Pennsylvania. But we'll continue to track this here for the next 20 minutes live. Again, tornado warning in effect for Ashtabula County until 4:45. If you're just chiming in, if you're in Ashtabula County, really anywhere in Ashtabula County right now, go ahead and get in the basement. Play it safe. Best bet here. After the fact, of course, you send us pictures, reports, whatever it may be. But first and foremost, we want to make sure that you are nice and safe and everything is A-okay with you and your family, loved one, neighbors. If you have family members that live in Ashtabula County, maybe give them a quick call. If you don't live there, say, hey, do you know you're under tornado warning? Go ahead and take cover. If possible, get into that basement. Take it easy here the next 20 minutes so we can get this storm cell out of here and know that we are safe. Currently, Austinburg and Lenox are some of the main areas, the most populated areas that's going to be affecting here the next 10 to 15 minutes. So as we continue to track this together, if you're just chiming in, by the way, this is a tornado warning, imminent threat, radar indicated rotation. For Ashtabula County, it started around 4:17 for southern Ashtabula County. However, it is moving northeast at about 25. So anywhere in Ashtabula County at this point, best bet is just to go ahead and get into a basement location, low level, away from windows, get inside. And a lot of spinning going on here. And what's been happening is there's a cold front on the way, area of low pressure, adding some spin to the atmosphere. And it's making what we call wind shear from the different levels of the atmosphere. So the spinning in different wind directions and different wind speeds obviously add to the circulatory nature of these systems. And as we go ahead and take a glimpse here of this specific cell, we'll take it broad here and move around 25 miles an hour northeast, which will put it into Rock Creek here right about now. So Rock Creek, I hope you're in the basement right now. Get away from windows, get inside. We don't want to see any pictures. We want you to be safe, and then go ahead and send us some stuff to tips@fox8.com. Austinburg around 4:34. It heads to Ashtabula area around 4:42. North Kingsville around 4:49. At that point, as long as it starts to show less and less of a nature and signature of rotation, it may be allowed to cancel at that point, but it may be extended into portions of Ashtabula County too. So we'll go ahead and take a glimpse here of one thing we look at as meteorologists is right about here, and this is the signature that they saw from the National Weather Service and said, hey, radar indicated rotation showing here, and there's that appendage heading right toward 45 near Roaming Shores, heading right through Hartsgrove area, New Lyme, heading toward Lenox at that point. It'd be near Eagleville, Denmark, Austinburg, Sheffield Center, all these areas, Kelloggsville, are in the eyes of this storm and the one that is showing the rotation. which you can see right there for yourself between Hartsgrove, Roaming Shores, Windsor Mill outside of New Lyme. That little peninsula looking area is the concern and showing a radar indication there is some sort of cyclical nature to this specific cell in Ashtabula County that spawned this tornado warning for Ashtabula County, currently in effect still until 4:45. Going back here just to kind of show you the nature of the cell, and it's going to go ahead and zoom in here first and foremost to show you what's going on. Okay, here we go. Moving right into the specific cell. It is Ashtabula County. Now, there are other areas still getting some heavy downpours, but the worst of it is now heading into Ashtabula County and eventually obviously moving northeast, which means outside of our viewing area entirely. Over the next half an hour, things will really start to calm down. Still a severe thunderstorm warning for Ashtabula and Trumbull counties until 4:45 too. And in addition, there is a tornado watch for our eastern counties in effect till 10 o'clock. I will say once this specific cell moves out of Ashtabula County, I think most likely they will actually cancel this watch here before that 10 o'clock time frame. If you're just checking in with us, we are under a tornado warning for Ashtabula County until 4:45 due to this right here near Hartsgrove, heading toward Roaming Shores outside of New Lyme. This specific area, again, it looks like a little peninsula there. A little finger kind of sticking out there at that point. That is showing rotation. The red is away from radar. The green is toward. And that is one indicator radar-wise that we look for in terms of some spinning in the atmosphere, which is why there is a warning that has been issued. A wall cloud-looking feature in Ashtabula County. Otherwise, we're not getting any actual reports of anyone seeing a funnel cloud or a tornado. We just know that it's just this radar in nature, this signature, this TVS, tornado vortex signature, that is making us feel that there's at least a very high risk or threat of a tornado, which is why there is that warning in place, which means you get to the basement, you get away from windows. Here in Northeast Ohio, we certainly know the drill when it comes to these warnings. In case you are just checking in with us, though, we do have a tornado watch for all of our eastern counties until 10 o'clock, but the imminent threat is currently, we're going live wall-to-wall coverage right now because of the specific warning that is showing the spinning nature of the specific cell near Roaming Shores. And this warning for Ashtabula County is in effect until 4:45. It is moving northeast at 25. So as it does that, we're going to go ahead and follow it and kind of see as it moves northeast at 25. In case you're hearing all these sounds, we're live chatting with the Weather Service, and it's just going to continue the tornado warning until 4:45. So we still have about 14 minutes left, folks, for Ashtabula County. Capable of producing a tornado. Again, it's a TVS, tornado vortex signature. No one has spotted it, but it is showing rotation in terms of our radar, which has really fine detail, a nature that can kind of see the red and green, which is red away and green toward radar, the wind direction, this wind shear. It's now located 8 miles north of Orwell, 14 miles south of Geneva on the lake, moving northeast at 25. So that sound you just heard there, and just reminding us that southwestern Ashtabula County until 4:45 has this tornado warning. Currently, again, it is 8 miles north of Orwell now, and 14 miles south of Geneva on the lake. So as we track this, let's see where it takes it. See if it affects your hometown, maybe some of your friends who live in the Ashtabula County area. And it will be moving into Austinburg in the next few minutes. It's nearly upon you as we speak. New Lyme, same deal, about 4 minutes from now. Ashtabula, it'll be right around the time we're expecting this to expire and maybe extended. We'll have to just kind of stay tuned and see what the Weather Service sees with the radio velocity. North Kingsville around 4:52, and Kellogg'sville would be there around 4:57. If you are just checking in with us, we are going wall to wall for you right now because of a tornado warning that continues. It was initially spawned by a tornado vortex signature on radar indication of spinning around 4:17. At that point, it was near Orwell. Now it is 8 miles north of Orwell, 14 miles south of Geneva on the lake, and it continues to move in a northeast orientation at 25 miles an hour. So here's where it takes it. Current look right now at 4:33 in the afternoon of the specific cell. Here it is right here near Roaming Shores, New Lyme, Lenox on the way, but as we track it northeast of 25, let's see where it's headed and some of the areas that will be affected here in the next several minutes. And as we track it on our STORMFOX radar, Roaming Shores, it's on you right now. Ashtabula, it is just 5 minutes or so away. Denmark, it'll be right around the time frame it's expected to expire around 4:45, so 4:47. North Kingsville and Kellogg'sville between 4:45 and 4:55, and then heading toward Bushnell, and that would be near the 5 o'clock time frame. We are, of course, hoping that this will be allowed to expire upon 4:45 and not be extended. It may be extended, though. If it does, it will still go through much of Ashtabula County before it does start to head off into the Pennsylvania area. So we're still watching. So if you notice here, between Eagleville and Roaming Shores, that specific area along 45, and just north and east of Hartsgrove, that's where we're watching. You see the red and green and kind of like a little appendage, a little bowing going on, a little hook. We call it a hook echo. And you can see it relatively clearly here on this STORMFOX storm relative velocity. The red is just an indicator of the wind that's going away from radar. The green is toward. So we're looking at a lot of wind shear, not only at the surface, but if you layer it up vertically into the atmosphere, the different wind speeds and wind direction spawn some of the spinning, which is one of the main threats with this radar indicated spinning. So we do continue with the severe thunderstorm warning for Ashtabula County until 4:45, also this tornado warning, but also just canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Trumbull County. But our main threat right now, the most imminent concern, would be the tornado warning for Ashtabula County that's still in effect for another about 10 minutes, just a little bit less. It's heading right toward Eagleville and Lenox, Roaming Shores, Denmark, Austinburg, and continuing northeastward, Kellogg'sville, Ashtabula, Farnham, into Conneaut areas. And we're hoping by the time it reaches that point, it starts to lose its spinning nature and showing here this little bit of the hook going on. But as of right now, it's still definitive enough to continue with this tornado warning. If you live east, tornado watch in effect, which means conditions are right here till 10 p.m. But I do believe that it will most likely be canceled ahead of time before that 10 o'clock time frame tonight. Our main threat really is going on right now, and the most imminent threat right now in Ashtabula County. So again, if you're just checking in with us, you're thinking, hey, what's going on? Well, in Ashtabula County, there is currently a tornado warning in effect with this movement of this one cell northeast at 25. It's probably about 10 miles or so north of Orwell at this point, maybe about 10 to 12 miles south of Geneva on the lake, moving northeast at 25. All radar indicated. No one has actually spotted a tornado that we are aware of, or a wall cloud for that matter, a funnel cloud. But this is all radar indicated rotation. So we're going to go back in and track it here. We're just doing this live with you. Here we go. All right, we're going to go back right into the area of concern near Lenox, a New Lyme, just north of you along that 45 stretch there. I'm actually just now moving east of 45, east of Hartsgrove, and pretty far north of Orwell. But as it moves northeast, we're going to take a look where it's headed. It puts it right into Lenox here. So Lenox in the basement, get away from those windows, get inside. I know it's really hard to not want to get out there and look, but let's just play it safe at this point. If you're in Lenox, Plymouth Center, Dorset, North Kingsville, go ahead and head to the basement, get away from windows, get into an interior location where you're safe and sound until we know that you are in the clear from the specific cell that is showing this rotation. Again, northeasterly orientation at 25 miles an hour. Kellogg'sville would put you in your area in North Kingsville between 450 and 456. Hoping by the time it reaches really even Plymouth Center around 445 that we can just allow this to expire and be said and done with. But it may have to be extended into extreme northeastern Ashtabula County before exiting our viewing area entirely. As we do head back, one thing we do look at is storm relative velocity, and this is what really gives us a very good indicator. Even if we're not getting reports of an actual tornado, this is something we look at and why the warning was issued initially around 417 near Orwell. The National Weather Service noticed this red and green appendage. Looks like a little hook echo there. between Eagleville and Roaming Shores, and then down through the Hartsgrove area. That specific area is the threat right now, which means all of these areas from Lenox to Eagleville to Roaming Shores, Trumbull, even Hartsgrove right now, New Lyme, all of these areas should be taking cover. You don't want to be out driving around, looking around. Get inside, get away from windows, get into a safe space right now. Blare that TV in case you don't have your phone nearby, and make sure that we can keep you abreast of the situation just as things are very imminent. And once things settle down, then we'll let you know when you're safe and in the clear, and you can get out there and send those pictures to us at tips@fox8.com once we know you're in the clear. And again, if you are checking in, we're just going to continue to reiterate the same thing and make sure that you're just aware of what's going on. The Ashtabula County area is under a tornado warning as of 4:17 this afternoon near Orwell. Radar indicated rotation was detected, so this warning was issued. It is now most likely maybe around 12 miles north of Orwell at this point, and probably about 8 to 10 miles away from or south of Geneva on the lake, continuing to move northeast at 25. But this warning is in effect now for a little less than 6 minutes. So we're going to stick with you and see if this has to be extended. It may need to be, and start to cover areas like northeastern Ashtabula. But as of right now, it's mainly for southern and central Ashtabula County until it starts to make its trek northeastward at 25. We'll go back to the here and now and zoom in and go ahead and track the specific area of location where we're worried, and know that you should be taking cover until we know that you are in the clear of the specific cell that's definitely getting out of hand this afternoon. As we're tracking it live with you, it'll be in Ashtabula area right around 4:45. New Lyme here right now. North Kingsville and Kingsville itself between 4:54 and 4:56. These are all approximate time frames, and approximate in terms of the actual movement and how swiftly this storm cell is moving too. Kelloggsville would be in your area around the 5 o'clock time frame. And as of right now, we continue with this warning from the cell that is showing the rotation ever since around 4:17 this afternoon. All radar indicated. Let's see how it's if it's maintaining its composure here in terms of the little bit of hooking that we saw, and see if it's weakening at all. I'm going to zoom in here. It does appear that it's losing a little bit of its composure, so I wouldn't be surprised. They may still extend it. We'll see what the Weather Service decides here in the next 4 minutes. But it looks like it's losing a little bit of its grip, a little bit of its spin near Eagleville. But if you're in Austinburg, Harpersfield, Trumbull, Lenox, near the Denmark area, Roaming Shores, all of these areas, just because of the proximity to some of the slight rotation still showing up from relative velocity, best to be in the basement if possible. If not, at least an interior room, away from windows preferably, until we know for sure that the system no longer has any of those characteristics of showing some spinning or the curvature and the wind shear that's driving some of this spin and velocity. Tornado watch continues to be in effect for our eastern counties until 10 o'clock. I've said it several times, but in case you're checking in, I do expect that to most likely be canceled a little bit early, since the main threat's really coming through as we speak, and why this was started all along. So it happened a couple of hours ago, or at least a good hour ago, that they did issue this tornado watch and this tornado warning in effect for Ashtabula County until 4:45. So we still have about 3 minutes. We're going to wait and see what the Weather Service does decide with this specific warning. But it all started around 4:17 in the Orwell area. So here we go. We got great news for you as of right now. Just now, the Weather Service has now allowed the tornado warning for Ashtabula County has expired. So Ashtabula County, you are no longer under that warning. It has now expired as of 4:42. So they did cancel it just a little bit early. So at this point, we are no longer under any warnings in terms of tornado warnings. Ashtabula County, you're good. We noticed that weakening together. It's nice when we can do it all together right here. You can see what we look at in the Fox 8 Weather Center and Dick Goddard Weather Center to kind of give you an idea of what we do here when we track it live. So there you go. We were doing it all live together. Weather Service, all of us just kind of going with the flow.
Excellent
and
work, Melissa.
Great job.
did expire the tornado warning for
Yeah,
Ashtabula
you can
County.
take a big sigh of relief right now,
Yes.
but it doesn't mean we're in the clear altogether. We still have heavy rains and winds out there, and our viewers are sending us tweets on Twitter and whatnot with wall cloud pictures there in Ashtabula County. So we're really talking about the northeast portion of Ashtabula County with Kingsville and Kellogg'sville. They're still going to get pounded with rain and heavy winds. So heads up out there and call your relatives and warn them that severe weather is afoot.
Absolutely.
Melissa, thank you for that coverage there. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more coverage here on Fox 8 News at 4 o'clock.